You need to stop trying to build an AI app with Claude if you want to start a one-person business. And I'm serious. For almost everyone watching this, it's one of the dumbest ways to try to make money right now. Now, here's the lie that everyone's selling you. Build some slick app, get 1,000 people paying you $10, and boom, you're rich. But over 99% of apps fail, and building one isn't a side hustle, it's a full-time business, right? It's a full-time job. And honestly, it's even more than a full-time job. Meanwhile, almost nobody's talking about what's actually happening right now and what actually works. The number of one-person million-dollar businesses has essentially doubled in the last few years. And it makes sense because around 86% of all US businesses have no employees, according to the US Chamber of Commerce. And one-person businesses are the norm. And it's only going to get crazier because of Claude AI. Because Claude AI is an incredible tool that can do 90% of the heavy lifting for you. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how I'd use it to get to 10,000 a month. And I'm so confident in this system that I took my own 50-year-old, non-technologically savvy brother who had never made $1 outside of his career from zero to a full-time income in less than 1 month. And he did 90% of the heavy lifting in this business using Claude. And there's another one of my community members, Jen, who just started and is now making a full-time income from this exact same one-person business. Now, quick caveat, they're not making money from Claude itself. Claude is just the tool that is doing the heavy lifting that made it all possible. They're building a real business with it, and they're not doing it the way that you'd expect. And they're using a strategy that is completely different than what every AI guru is screaming at you to do. Because there is a far better one-person business that you can build. It's easier, it's faster, and it can take you to $10,000 a month. And it's the same way that my community members did it, and it's the same way that I did it myself. In fact, I built what started as a one-person business into over $10 million. And now with Claude, I could do the whole thing faster and easier than ever. Now, quick disclaimer here, the internet is buried in fake gurus and AI-generated garbage right now. And this is the opposite of that. Every number is real, this is not hype, and every example is a real person as well. This is not some kind of passive income get-rich-quick scheme. Claude is an incredible tool that can help you do the work, but there does need to be a real human being who's willing to spend a few hours a week and knows how to execute it. And by the way, there's going to be prompts and Claude skills down in the description and the pinned comment below for you to follow along as we go through these different sections of helping you launch this one-person Claude business. So if you appreciate me making this type of content and you want to see me make more of it in the future, then go ahead and gently cheers that like button and let's jump into it right now. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's talk about what this business actually is. And let's zoom out a little bit and talk about what business actually is, because it's really simple when you zoom out. So at its core, every business is just three things: marketing, sales, and delivery. So marketing is traffic, it's getting the eyeballs on your business. Sales is turning those eyeballs into paying customers, and delivery is the actual product or service that you hand them. But here's the mistake that almost everybody makes. They pour everything into delivery, making the product perfect, and they completely ignore the marketing. And this is especially a bad idea if you're running a one-person business, because you're one person. You can't wear all the hats at the same time. It's like building the best restaurant in the world with fancy tables, gold-plated food, and the best service in the world on a road that nobody drives down. You can have the most beautiful restaurant on earth with the best food and the best service, and if no one drives past it, you've got jack. You did half the work, but you've got 0 eyeballs on your business. So the real lever, especially if you're a one-person business, the thing that you focus on first is marketing, because you can only really focus on a few things at once, right? And the great thing about this is you can easily do this with Claude, which I'll show you here in a bit. So get the eyeballs and the sales and the delivery will fall into place. But because the truth is, it's impossible for anyone to buy anything from you if they don't know that you exist. Now, here's the question. How does one person actually get those eyeballs? Well, you've basically got two choices. Option one, you market your brand head on and you go up against billion-dollar giants. Good luck going toe-to-toe with McDonald's ad budget. No offense to you, but you're going to get your kicked. Or option two, if everyone else is zigging, you zag and you build a personal brand, because you're a one-person business. And when you build a personal brand, people get pulled into your world. They resonate with you, not some faceless logo. If you think this doesn't work, look at the most powerful people on earth. The richest person in the world, Elon Musk, for instance. He just became the first trillionaire, and he is very smart, don't get me wrong. But would he be the richest person alive if nobody knew who he was and he didn't have a massive personal brand? No, of course not. And I'll tell you a secret. The reason he bought Twitter is because it grew his personal brand, right? And it's not just him. Politicians win elections off it, whether you like it or not. The biggest names in business run on it. A personal brand is the multiplier. So for a one-person business, the move is clear. You build a personal brand. But let's take this one step further, because there's another reason that you should build a personal brand. And here's why this is the smartest bet that you can possibly make. If you win, you win. And if you lose, you still win. Every single piece of content you make is an asset that compounds. And making content is basically getting paid to do market research for your business. And companies pay millions of dollars for market research. Entire industries are built on it. And you can get paid to do it. So your first piece of content doesn't need to work. Everyone is just a little experiment. And you're not failing, you're collecting data. And the personal brand itself is the asymmetric bet. Now, a good example of this is one of my community members, Josh Madacor. When he first came to me, he was making less than $1,000 a month. It was basically just a little side hustle that he was doing on the side. So Josh started making content about something that most people would call boring, getting into IT and cybersecurity careers, which was very easy for him because that's what he did for his job. And at first, he wasn't making much. He went from making about $1,000 a month from his content to around $5,000 a month. But here's where the asymmetric part really kicks in. While he was doing it, he became a real authority in his niche, and his personal brand started opening doors that he could have never imagined would be available to him. For instance, FANG companies and Fortune 50 companies started reaching out to him with job offers. And if you don't know what FANG is, that's Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. These are basically the Harvard of companies. They're incredibly hard to get into. And Josh didn't have to apply to a single one. They came to him purely because of his brand. And he accepted one of the offers that he got from a Fortune 50 company. And it was his dream job, and it allowed him to travel the world while making over 6 figures a year. But then he quit it. Why? Because his business kept going and he started making $186,000 a month from his personal brand, which was way more than the elite job was paying him. So think about how insane that is. He made money from the content. The content got him into one of the hardest companies on earth, and then his brand out-earned that entire job. That is the asymmetric bet. Every single outcome is a win. But now you might be thinking, well, Shane, what if I'm a super busy person or I'm not tech savvy? Well, let's just take another community member of mine, Craig. Craig is a realtor in Montana, and he is on the older side. And if you know anything about being a realtor, you know it's one of the busiest jobs there is. So Craig did not have time to make his videos look pretty. And one of his first videos that he posted was very rough, but it didn't matter. It blew up anyways. The framing was off, the whole thing was raw, but it still blew up. And it's because he understood something, right? He's a realtor, and how are you gonna get clients if nobody even knows you exist? So instead of obsessing over delivering for customers who don't know him yet, or obsessing over making the perfect video that takes 40 hours to make, he focused on marketing first. He made a video to get eyeballs on his business. Now, most people would just sit there trying to deliver for customers that don't exist. Craig did the opposite. And even in the unlikely case that it never took off, he'd still walk away with a real brand that he could leverage into anything else. But it did take off. And that rough first video is now sitting at over 100,000 views. And it was recorded on his laptop with a webcam with super basic editing, and all it did is solve a problem for his ideal viewer. And this is the asymmetric bet. If he wins, he wins. If he loses, he still wins because he built a massive personal brand, right? He is well known in his space and in his niche. Now, you might be thinking, well, Shane, this sounds great, but I have no idea what niche to pick. Well, that's completely fine because we have a tool that we built with Claude based on thousands of hours of us training people how to pick the right niche. And that tool is going to be available for you completely free in the live training that I'm going to be doing this week. Click the link in the description and the pinned comment below. In this live training, we're going to teach you how to pick your niche. Then we're going to teach you how to start a YouTube personal brand step by step. And then I'm going to answer literally any questions that you have about it at the end. So click the link in the description and the pinned comment below to check that out. All right, guys, quick break. This video is sponsored by me. I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing a live training this week where I'm going to be revealing the YouTube content advantage in 2026. It is a completely free training, no strings attached. In fact, I'm giving away even more bonuses at the training. Just as an example, I'm going to be giving away my niche validator. And this is going to be available for both Claude as well as ChatGPT, which is a super valuable piece of software where you can finally figure out what the best niche for you is. So do not miss out on this training. Make sure you sign up for it down in the description and the pinned comment below because you only get it if you join the training. So if you don't join now, you might miss it. But that being said, in the workshop, you'll get to meet me. You'll get to ask me questions directly. So I look forward to meeting you. So click the link in the description, the pinned comment below. Make sure you put it on your calendar. And if for whatever reason you missed out on it, you weren't able to attend, make sure you still click that link because we might be having workshops in the future as well. And you'll be the first to know about it. So yeah, hope to see you there. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right, so you're building a personal brand. Where do you build it? Well, most advice says post everywhere or just pick whatever platform you like best. And That's terrible advice. There's only one platform where they pay you to make content, sponsorships flow naturally, and clients convert at scale. And that is YouTube. See, short form content on all these platforms, they can get you attention, but long form is what actually makes you the money. So here's the system that I use. YouTube is the sun, and every other platform orbits around it. You make one long form video, then you, your editor, or Claude chops it into 5 to 10 short clips. Those go out to Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, all of them. And every single clip points back to YouTube. Then you can also repurpose that into written content. And you can post that on places like X, LinkedIn, as well as the YouTube community tab. So light flows out from the sun, but gravity pulls everyone back in, because all of these different pieces of content point everybody back to YouTube. Why? Because again, YouTube is where the money actually is. YouTube pays creators 55% of AdSense. Most of the other platforms pay between 5 and 18%. And brand deals on YouTube pay 5 to 10 times more than the same deal on Instagram. And then there's Google's 7-11-4 rule. Buyers typically need about 7 hours of content with you before they know, like, and trust you enough to buy, especially if it's for a higher ticket product. So you're not gonna be getting 7 hours of 15-second TikToks. But on YouTube, someone can binge hours of you the first day that they find you. Now, a good example of this is a community member of mine, Isaiah Harris. Isaiah is a vocal coach, and he was running Facebook ads to get clients. Now, think about what a Facebook ad actually is. You pay money to interrupt someone for a few seconds that probably doesn't want to see your ad, and they scroll right past. And at the time, he was about to get laid off from his job, and he was burning cash on those ads, so he was not in a great spot. So he watched my free content and he switched to YouTube. Now, why does that matter? Because YouTube is long form and organic. You are not paying to interrupt people for 3 seconds. People choose to sit with you for 20 or 30 minutes. And that is how you rack up those 7 hours of know, like, and trust fast and for free. And it worked. Isaiah got to $12,000 in a single month posting just one video a month. And he's now made over $100,000 since he got started. And he completely turned off his Facebook ads. So there was no more paying to interrupt strangers. Instead, he was getting paid to market his products and services. That is the power of YouTube as the mother platform. And here's another community member of mine, Joaquin Ravello. He was 18, making content on Ivy League admissions. And he didn't grind LinkedIn DMs. He didn't chase viral TikToks. He built on YouTube first. The right viewers found him, and the high ticket conversions came to him. So cold outreach is grinder mode. It's soul crushingly hard. And most of the time it's that's not gonna work. YouTube, on the other hand, is leverage mode. And every single time you make a video, it's like a permanent salesman that you never have to pay again. He never takes a day off, and he works 24 hours a day to get you views, subscribers, and make you money. And we've actually gotten 6-figure contracts from videos that we posted 6 years ago. So these videos don't die in a few hours or a few days. They're like little digital real estate assets that keep making you money for years. And you don't need a team of 10. You really don't. You need Claude and an hour a day. Now, before you make a single video, you've got to lock in your niche. And this is where 90% of people get stuck. And this is why I highly recommend that you just go ahead and attend my live training by clicking the link in the description and the pinned comment below, because that'll help you choose your niche or dial in your existing niche. Now, most people pick a niche based on what they think gets views. Wrong move. Pick a niche at the intersection of what you know, what you love, and most importantly, what people will pay you for. This is called the hybrid personal brand method. It builds the channel around you as a person, not one narrow topic. So as you evolve, the channel can evolve with you. And here's why niche matters so much. Get the right niche and even mediocre content does well. Get the wrong niche and the most beautiful content in the world just sits there. And most creators cast their net into the ocean, like general productivity, general fitness, and they get absolutely buried doing the exact same is everyone else. But the niche lock is finding the small pond where you're the only people who knows where the fish are. So a great example of this is a creator named Mike. Mike teaches tennis, but not just tennis, tennis for seniors. And get this, he only started about 4 weeks ago. And at first he made general racket review videos. They did okay, decent amount of views, but then he niched down to tennis for seniors. And one of those videos immediately became his #1 video of all time and hit 16,000 views just 8 days after posting. And this is from a channel that's 4 weeks old with under 400 subscribers. That is the niche doing the work. Same guy, same camera, honestly, pretty much the same content, but he just went narrower and it exploded. And it looks like he's already monetizing it, right? He sells tennis guides right off of his own website for $19. And he's probably got a business on the back end of that. So let's do some quick napkin math. And this is just hypothetical. Say even 0.5% of those 16,000 views bought it. That's 80 people at $19 each, so that's roughly $1,500 from a channel that's barely a month old. Not bad at all. Another community member of mine, Antoine, he got to $100,000 months, and he didn't pick education in general, that's the ocean. He picked a specific corner of education where he was uniquely qualified and uniquely positioned and uniquely needed. And the second he locked that niche in, his content compounded and his offer started converting like crazy. And he is not making 10 times the production quality, not even close. The niche is doing 90% of the work. And that's exactly what Claude is for. You answer a handful of questions about yourself, Claude runs it through the framework, and you get a niche, a target viewer, and a video idea list in about 15 minutes. Okay, so your brand makes money, but how specifically? Well, here's where most beginner advice falls apart. Other videos sell you one thing. Do a course, do a service, do coaching, do Amazon FBA. That's like building a 5-story apartment building and only renting out the bottom floor. A personal brand opens up just about every income stream that you can imagine. You can literally sell anything with a personal brand. Just as an example, Alex Hormozi started one of the rarest businesses in the world known as a family office, which is basically like an investment holding company, and he gets most of his deal flow from YouTube. But with that being said, there's 5 income streams that we typically focus on, and you could run all 5 of them off of the same audience. At the top is the high ticket money. This is services and coaching. Below that, your own digital products, templates, prompts, and courses. Then affiliate, you recommend tools that you already use and trust. Then sponsorships, brands paying for access to your audience. And at the floor is AdSense. It's passive and it's every single month. And again, the way that I think about it is YouTube is paying me to market my products and services. And by the way, I've made over $60,000 in a single month from AdSense. But AdSense is just a tiny fraction of the money that you can make from a channel. But again, the real power here is stacking and having the flexibility to market just about any business that you want. So take a community member of mine, Nicole, for instance. She runs GRC for Mere Mortals. And when she first started working with me, she had about 85 subscribers. And after growing her YouTube channel, she got to over $80,000 in a single month. How? Well, she's not picking one stream, she's stacking all 5. AdSense at the floor from videos that she posted years ago, affiliate marketing from the tools in those videos, sponsorships from companies that want her highly targeted audience, and then of course her coaching and her digital products are doing the bulk of the revenue. Same audience, but 5 streams. That is the real power of a personal brand. And you can start way earlier than you think. A community member of mine, for instance, landed a $1,500 a month sponsorship with just 446 subscribers. So you do not need 100,000 subscribers to start making money. That is a myth and it's complete. So how do you actually climb to $10,000 a month? Well, there's 2 phases. Phase 1 is volume. You post fast and you do not overthink it. The most common mistake by far is people overthinking their first video. You have to stop overthinking your damn first video and just get it posted. Now, the most important thing that is going to determine 80 to 90% of the video's chances of success is the video idea. And this is another thing we're going to be going over in the live training this week. We're going to be teaching you how to find the video idea using the icon method. So again, click that link in the description in the pinned comment below to attend that. But all the other stuff that you think matters, like having a super fancy camera or a really nice set or doing lots of editing, most of the time that stuff does not matter. And you'll be absolutely shocked when you start testing these videos. There's been videos that I've put massive amounts of effort into, like 100 hours, and it completely flopped. Then there's other videos that I put about 30 minutes of effort into and it blew up and got millions of views. Because people don't come to YouTube for Netflix level production, they come for raw authenticity. And once that first video hits, it's like a popcorn bag. The first kernel pops, then another, and suddenly the bag is full. And your old videos that flop start getting views from the ones that blew up. And you're always one video away from a sustainable personal brand. Now, a good example of this is my brother, Zach. He's in his 50s, he's not tech savvy, and he's never made a video in his life. And his very first video blew up, and by day 19, he hit 1,000 subscribers. And by day 29, he was making a full-time income from AdSense alone. $214 in a single day, which is a $70,000 a year run rate. Oh, and just last month, he had his record month, over $18,000 in a single month. So that's phase 1, grow fast. Phase 2 is the offer, because if Zach had something to sell, he would have made way more money. So take a community member of mine, Carla, for instance. She already had a recruiting business where she helps people recruit teams in the Philippines and South America. And she had about 1,500 subscribers. And she closed a 6-figure contract from that tiny channel because she was set up to sell. She wasn't waiting for 100,000 subs. She had 1,500 of the right subs and an offer that solved their problem. So Zach is what happens when you grow fast. Carla is what happens when you sell while you grow. So have an offer ready as close to day 1 as you can. And yes, Claude can help you build that too. So that's the whole system. Lock your niche in, make YouTube your mother platform, stack your income streams, and you can even use Claude to do the heavy lifting for you with YouTube, such as niche picking, video ideation, and scripting, and you can climb to $10,000 a month. And remember, the AI gurus telling you to build an app, they're just building personal brands by making content about it. And they figured out this metagame years ago, and now you know it too. And like I said, if you want to learn more and you want to dive deeper on this and ask me questions directly, as well as getting access to the AI tools, for instance, the Claude Niche Validator, go ahead and click the link in the description in the pinned comment below to attend my live training. And I know 99% of you are just going to take that and run. You're going to consume my free content, get tons of value from it. You're going to download my free tools and get tons of value from those. And you're going to attend my live training, get tons of value from that, lock your niche in, get the free tools from that, and even ask me questions, which I'll answer completely free, but we'll never end up working together one-on-one, and that's completely fine. I want to give 100 times more value than I receive. With that being said, there's going to be that rare person out there that does want to work one-on-one with myself and my team to get results as quickly and as fast as possible. Or you want us to literally just do the work for you. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and click the link in the description in the pinned comment below to book a call. The types of people we typically work with are in-person businesses. So typically these are the types of businesses that get clients like law firms, realtors, and other types of real estate related businesses, financial advisors, insurance businesses, and lots of different types of medical businesses such as dental cosmetic clinics. But we also work with online businesses as well, like services, agencies, expert businesses, coaches, consultancies, etc. Then we work with YouTubers who are getting a lot of views, but they're struggling with monetization. And then we work with YouTubers who are crushing it, but they want to crush it even harder. And then we also work with professionals who want to treat YouTube like a business, right? That's what all 5 of those people have in common, is they want to treat YouTube like a business. Now we can only accept a very small amount of people at a time. Right now we're only bringing in about 5 people, and we only accept about 18% of people who try to work with us. So don't apply unless you're very serious about growing and making money on YouTube, because we have very limited spots. But if that sounds like you, click that link in the description in the pinned comment below, and check out this video right here about exactly how we helped Zach grow his one-person business from 0 to a full-time income in less than 1 month.